Hello again. As none of you may know, I was a big fan of Counterstrike Source back in the day, and last week I asked myself, what if Counterstrike but VR? So I got myself in Oculus and had a few games of Pavlov to find out. Most of my time with Pavlov was spent playing with random people on Steam, but I did manage to convince one of the team here to help out. And as you can see, I was in for a bit of a treat. Pavlov VR is a first-person shooter currently in early access for Oculus and the Vive from indie developer Dave Vills. While it only comes with 3 maps, there are well over 100 to download for free from the Steam Workshop, with some old favourites like Rust from Call of Duty, High Ground from Halo 3, and of course Dust from Counterstrike. Right now there are just 2 game modes. The standard team deathmatch, which is always entertaining and is good for a quick fight as you have access to all the game's guns and equipment from the get-go, and has a nice short respawn time. But where the game comes alive is the search and destroy mode. 2 teams spawn, the SWAT and the terrorists. The terrorists will have a bomb that they need to plant in a specific location and protect it until it detonates. The SWAT team has to stop them from planting it or defuse it if they do. All deaths are permanent, so the game becomes slower and more tactical than Team Deathmatch. Kills and victories grant you the money you need to purchase new and better guns from the store. Search and destroy might be slower than Team Deathmatch, but it's much more rewarding, often requiring you to outthink and outmaneuver your enemies rather than simply outliving them. I've seen a couple of tweets from Dave Vills about adding in a Battle Royale mode, which would really add some variety to the game, although at the time of recording there's no word on when that might be launching. There's no single player in Pavlov. If you want to stay offline to get in some practice against bots before going up against real people, you can. I did, and although it doesn't really get you ready for playing against real people, because bots are bots and bots are always stupid, it was decent enough training for the mechanics and getting used to movement and reloading, which I definitely needed. This was my first time playing a game in VR with free movement, rather than teleporting or being on rails. The right-hand analog stick also lets you rotate 90 degrees, just to give you a bit more movement options to avoid getting tangled up in wires. While at first it had me feeling a bit dizzy, especially when it came to going up or down stairs or dropping from a ledge, I quickly got used to it and found myself taking cover, leaning round corners, and sprinting between cover with ease. That is, until I played 2 games in a row in a community-made, cartoony coloured map, with a house and lots of staircases and windows to jump from. Too much going up and down left me feeling not too great by the end of it. Reloading weapons in the game works differently to any shooter I've played before. Every one of the 17 guns reloads differently, and it's all done manually. It can make things pretty tense when you know that there's a group of enemies right around the corner, but you need to reload each shell one by one before you can pop round the corner and manage to kill just one of them before getting gunned down because you forgot to use a flashbang. Any equipment you're not currently using stays strapped to certain places on your body so that everything is close at hand all the time. Once I got used to reloading while on the move, the knife really started to feel a lot more useful. On some of the more enclosed maps, I found myself moving around the hallways using a single-handed weapon and the combat knife at the ready in the other, ready to cut down anyone who took a corner without checking. I really enjoyed Pavlov, and at just £7 it's really worth picking up if you already have a headset, and even more so if you've already got a few VR-equipped friends to play with. Thank you for watching. Please let me know what you thought in the comments. Leave a like if you liked it, and subscribe to Treeple Studios. Thank you. Goodbye bye. I'm using that. Fuck it.